Hello and welcome back to the ICA podcast with Gertie and Maiden.
Today, apple tart, sour or sweet? We have the answers.
No, it's not. It's Michael and Mark, and today we're going to be talking about the labia.
The who?
It's
yeah.
it's a place in Egypt. Yet to see one in the wild. Michael,
I got these for you.
thank you very much.
This has been the most impromptu return of a podcast ever.
It has.
Guinness World Record will confirm it.
We were going
On last Friday.
Yeah. We were going to leave it until September or so once the house was sorted, but sure, we're here now.
Yeah,
Might as well give it a lash.
absolutely.
As you can see, we got a new studio.
Yeah, it's impressive. Beautiful paint, and isn't this a recline? Oh, look at this Halpin furniture. The Dock Road in Arklow, your only place for. I have to say, there's some good stuff on the Instagram lately. Did you see the dining table with the grey chairs that kind of spring back a little bit?
Yes,
Have you-
yeah.
They look jazzy.
Yeah.
We've gone for an oak table in our place, but
Yeah.
we'll be definitely paying a visit to Halpin Furniture when we get our plumber back. So
I know, Michael, you've been known for your many roles.
my mini rolls,
Your
yes,
many
indeed.
roles.
Yeah.
And now you've taken on two more. You are a construction site worker.
Oh yes,
So you chop pallets in your spare time.
I do. I enjoy that.
What else do you do? You you bake apple tarts. I think
Bake apple
I've been before. How is life on the sites?
Life on the sites. It's very interesting. What would you say? I don't do a whole lot. My father does most of it. Ashton's father's doing all the tiling, but it's great when you're dealing with people. Then you say you it's more authority. Like when you say, "Oh no, the tiler has asked for something," and then he doesn't know that there's a family relation or whatever. So
Right.
you're always keeping your cards close to your chest when you're in the self-build game.
You're playing little status games all the time. Not status games. What are you doing here?
You're
It's a game of poker, isn't it?
poker. Yes, yeah. Come today, please.
Isn't as stressful as everyone makes it out.
When I started building, someone said to me, "Oh, I wouldn't do it again," and I couldn't understand it. Now I do. Like I would do it once. I'm delighted. I have a forever home with my fiance, but I would never want to have to build again for your own home.
Right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're so invested into it. Like like now look, if you got a builder in, it's different. All right, we've gone this direct labour route, and direct labour is fine, but you have to be very patient. You have to be very patient.
What is direct labour?
Direct labour means that you pull the strings, so as in you orchestrate it, so that you get the plumber in, and then you know that then you need to get the electrician in, and you're constantly managing it.
Fuck that. No way. That's like a full-time job, isn't it?
It is, but well, no, it isn't. It isn't. Like we're saving thousands by doing it that way.
Yeah. But losing years off your life.
Well, see, you could, and like Ashton would. I've from very early on, I decided. No, actually, I tell a lie. Halfway through, I decided that there's no way. I'm just going to have to let go of this and let it see how it goes. And that's how I've treated it. But as a result then, the build has taken 18 months probably.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It's a long out road, but it's going to be so worth it. Like everything's coming together now. It's painted. Mick Malloy's architectural skills are just, chef's kiss.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Splendid.
Like you'll see it when you're in the house, but like we have a space that would be, that we will imbue with a soulful presence, a place where friends, family can gather and
Put their cheese in the bowl.
Do you know, I actually have the perfect bowl for this as well. When I was in college, I was when I was in college, I did this "What is a Republic" talk in Gorey Library.
Yeah.
And at the end, they said we didn't want to give the speakers €50 or whatever. We decided we get them gifts. And Robert O'Connor, I have a handcrafted Robert O'Connor bowl.
Lovely.
and it's ready for this task. Yeah,
That would rev your engine, brother.
plenty of space, lovely quality. Yeah. So yeah, we've loads of Anyway, it's going to be great. So
It will.
and you have a baby there. Laura's still flying.
Nora is there, yes. She is.
She's there.
No, she's great. She's nearly walking now. She's kind of taking like 1 or 2 steps. So say like that table, she'd go from the table to the couch here, but 1 or 2 where her hands are in the air. Not fully walking yet. But yeah, no, she's great. She's nearly a year old now. That's gone by. She'll be a year old in 6 weeks.
That's crazy, like.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It flies by. We're bringing her to America for her first birthday
Yes.
and leaving her there. No, we're going over to Chicago for a week, so that'll be interesting, trying to see how to fly with babies, because that will be a challenge, I suppose, for the other passengers on the plane. Not so much for me. I'll take a sleeping tablet. No, that's it. Michael, you recently gave up alcohol
Yes, recently.
every day.
That's like every day. The Pope has said something about that priests, about their priests being able to marry, and he said that was a temporary ban, but as in temporary, but like he used the word temporary anyway, but it was temporary since the year 400. So I recently gave up alcohol in the same context.
Oh, some priests are going to be allowed to marry soon.
Maybe they're talking, but sure, they could always be talking about it. So.
Yeah, and the Dalai Lama is in trouble.
I'm very interested in the fact that you managed to see that, because I don't think it's very widely available in the internet.
Really?
I don't think it's on mainstream media. Like, I don't think RTE have reported on this. No.
I did see it on Instagram.
Did you see it, Shane?
It's on Twitter and Instagram. It's social media. The power of social media.
The power of social.
Yeah, mainstream. I don't think I reporting it.
Yeah.
Well, I used to suck the priest's tongue the whole time. And nothing was ever said.
Then
Very strange.
I did see. Yeah, it does look strange. I did see another counter piece that it was normal, but it doesn't look normal.
No, it's very weird. Apparently, I did see that as well as that. This is like tradition or something in Buddhism, or was it Buddhism or something? It's like
Something.
a hug, basically. But then you can say like sex is just a hug as well. It's
Yeah.
like he was hugging him.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely? Very, very strange.
Mm.
But like, why would the Dalai Lama get to 97 or whatever he is before he starts this? Surely he wouldn't have the highest libido in the world.
Yeah, and it's just coming to me now. The reason people think they're circulating it is because he's coming up for re-election or something.
The Dalai Lama?
Yeah,
Is elected?
apparently so.
Is he not just like a ephemeral kind of
I don't know how it works.
being? Is he the president of...
That religion.
Oh, he's like the Pope of Buddhism.
I think I don't really fully understand, but I remember seeing something about the fact that there's a re-election coming up. So this is like a smear campaign, but very easy content.
It's not really a smear campaign. He did it.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
I seen a picture or video or something of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't think we get to that. You were talking about alcohol.
Yeah.
Or the Dalai.
I gave up alcohol for 4 months,
Yes.
and I was going to go for 6. Full disclosure, I was going to go for 6, and then
Yeah.
there was a wedding on. I decided on the way to the wedding I was going to drink. I'm in Hummer, and Hummer, actually from the start when I said, I was like, I have this wedding in 4 months. That's going to be a big test. I'll see when I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. And I got to that bridge and I ordered a pint of Heineken. So I broke it. It's definitely like going a period of time without drinking alcohol, I think is very eye-opening. As you can probably attest to, your eyes have never been closed. You've never drank. So a week of feeling like shit, like it's now the following Sunday and I drank Friday and Saturday last week. I still am only coming right from it now. Some people would say, like, get over it or whatever. That's like just fine, whatever, keep drinking. 2 days of like misery and illness, and then a following week of, say, increased levels of anxiety and poor mental health, just demotivated. It's for all to feel a bit less anxious in social situations, just is not worth it to me at all. I don't think I'm going to go for 6 months now, and I'm going to commit to the 6, and I'm not going to drink for 6 months no matter what comes up, because I gave myself that leeway out in the first place. And I definitely feel like towards the end of the 4 months, my head was in a really good place. 4 months is the longest I think I've gone without drinking since I was probably 17, maybe 16. So that 4 months is very eye-opening. Towards the end of it, like, my mental health was in a really, really good place. My training was in a really good place. I was eating well. I was sleeping really well without trying. I just got into a proper rhythm with my sleep. And then just 2 days of drinking knocked that sideways. And like, I'm pulling it back right. I know it'll be fine now. It's coming right now and it'll be fine. 2 weeks, I'd say I'll be back to kind of coming to where I was. But it felt like the longer I stayed away from it, the more momentum I had. And it was just this one thing I needed to cut out. And like, I know, say my job as a personal trainer is like, and the approach I would take to it would be sustainability. So like, I'd say, you know what, if you want to drink, go drink, just fucking moderately or whatever. That's fine for some people. I don't think it's fine for me. Personally, I've obviously had my own difficulties with mental health in the past. I think with my susceptibility to poor levels of mental health, I don't think alcohol is something that serves me in any positive way other than feeling a bit less anxious in social situations. So I'm going to go 6 months without it now, and then I'd review, I might go even longer.
Very interesting. A few things, Mark. You said there earlier, like, that you broke it. Oh, sorry, I touched my microphone. Sorry if there was disturbance. I was stroking my neck arms. You broke it, and I could almost perceive that there was a hue of guilt off that. Did you feel yourself feeling guilty that you'd broken it? Or?
I thought I would feel even guiltier than I do. I don't feel as guilty as I probably thought I would, but I just, like, there's a difference in people say, oh, you shouldn't feel guilt or shame about it, and that, while that's true, like, you should take note of the fact that you felt like shit because you did something, and then try to correct that in the future so you don't feel like shit again. There's a difference in that, like.
That's a very good expression, take note and observe, like that. That's very, it's a very important distinction.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that we are only kind of coming to recently in terms of how we handle things, but that's just my inference. Then another thing that struck me is know thyself, like what you're describing there, that you know yourself, that you are better without it than with it at all.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you're trying for the 6 months, I take it. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, in many ways, that actually describes why I don't drink. I don't, like, I was just always kind of, I suppose, yeah, but like, look, I'm very persistent and want to, and can be stubborn about things. So, like, when I decided in my teens that I wasn't going to drink, I just knew deep down that I didn't need drink while I was while I was trying to lose weight or maintain better mental health. You know, but it wasn't, when it comes from the inside out, then you're probably better off that way, you know. So I don't miss not drinking. It's not a sentence that I impose upon myself. It's just how I want to be, you know.
And it would never come into your head. So say everyone's sitting in the pub and it's 10 o'clock, everyone is like having the time of their life, and you would never go, I would wonder what it would feel like now to drink a pint.
No, because I can see that while we have these 3 or 4 hours of a golden hour or whatever, I'd like to cultivate within myself a golden hour that lasts 7 days a week. You know, it's not. I don't like the idea of relying on something that comes from behind the counter.
Yeah.
Was it
alcohol is taking tomorrow's happiness for today.
Yeah.
So then,
but But we understand that. You will clearly understand as well, like the social lubricant or whatever, the benefit of alcohol, and like it's not decent as such. But I just think that. I think there are better ways to be. It's just make a bit of a side roll, but I think we'll go with it. I was training the under 6s, and there's this lad who won't be there. He's 5 years old, and he won't be there for training next week. So that, like, you could think it's going to be a birthday party, and his mother came up to me at the end. She's not going to be at training next week. I was thinking, like, 5-year-old. so he's not erect, so is it going to be a birthday party or whatever? And she said, no, he's going in competition. A 5-year-old competition, right?
The best 5-year-old. Who has the best 5-year-old?
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
There's a 5-year-old. I go to a jiu-jitsu competition next, and she said he's training 5 days a week. That kid is going to have such a, like, just start jiu-jitsu at such a young age. That child's worldview is going to be so much more holistic, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that is related, but it just, for me, it is in that, like, yeah, because it's not that jiu-jitsu is better than hurling or that jiu-jitsu is better than anything else, but it just, it's the path towards, when you enter jiu-jitsu, that's what's there, isn't it?
Yeah. To grow up at 5 years old, knowing how to defend yourself is also going to serve you long term, I think, as well. There's an element of, like, childhood that you are defenseless. And you're fearful. That's when things can happen, but if you can carry yourself as a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, 7, 8, 9, 10, and through your teens, knowing you know how to defend yourself should an altercation occur, it's going to stand to you long term as well, I think. It's something I'd like Nora to do, is jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Especially because she's a girl as well, I think. So, like, you think about jiu-jitsu, and I heard this before, I don't know who said it, but, like, say someone starts a fight with you in the street. If they try to punch you, you can run away. If they try to kick you, you can run away. But once they grab you, you can't run away. So therefore, if you can defend yourself once someone grabs you, then you know you're safe. Because with the other two options, you can still run away. If someone grabs you, then you know, and you know what to do. They probably don't if they're starting fights in the street. You can then carry yourself around safely. You can walk around secure in yourself, but you know, should an altercation occur, I can defend myself.
I think that goes quite deep as well, in that, I think, I think it goes a bit deeper as well, like, in that before you get to the stage of being caught, or that like, if you know yourself again, you know your capability in being able to withstand an aggressor or whatever, and eye contact apparently is very important in these situations,
Right.
from what I've heard. So, like, your ability to hold yourself, hold your body, stand confidently or whatever, and to survey everything around you, and be, because if you're cowering and not looking at someone in the eye, then you're more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so I think they are linked.
Yeah. Have you been practicing Wim Hof?
Funny you say that. On and off.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah. With yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing it every day. I haven't done it yet today now. I haven't got the chance. But yeah, every day for the past, I would say, month. There's definitely something to it. And I think it's like anything. I think the more you do it, the more you get from it. Or the better you get at it. You kind of understand what you're doing more with your breath and how to get the most from it. So I do the ice baths. I have an ice bath out the back of the house. Do that 2 minutes in the morning. And then when I get to work, before I go in, I do the breath work. There is a lot to be said for it, I think. A lot of people will discount it, particularly on the internet. You see people making fun of ice baths or like breath work and all this sort of stuff, but there is absolutely something to it, to the Wim Hof stuff. I just feel much better and clearer mentally after doing both of them, I suppose. Not together, but there is a lasting effect from the two of them. Have you noticed any effects?
Yeah, like what I think, the markers and the test for it aren't as obvious, and I think that's why it can be easily dismissed. But, like, what would I say? It just, you get a bit of clarity from it sometimes, you know. So it's an easy method, I suppose.
I did do 5 rounds there a couple of days ago, and when I got up, I could hear static in my ears for like a minute, and I didn't want to ask Breed if she could hear it or not, 'cause she gave out to me for doing it. But it was weird. Yeah, I could hear static for a while, and there was definitely like some like lights and stuff I could see, which was very interesting. There's more going on to meets the eye with this stuff, I think. And as you were saying, the markers for it, you can't really test for it. You can't say what's going on.
Yeah, and when I say markers, I think inflammation is probably one that we would be surprised by. I don't know, like, a lot of his work seems to be about reducing inflammation in the body, but like it's very hard to tell the effects of inflammation. But like, and look, I didn't do science, so I don't fully understand it, but the notion of it makes sense to me, that like that our bodies can be inflamed inside and we wouldn't know.
Yeah. Well, you can test for inflammatory biomarkers, but obviously we're not going to do that
Exactly.
in our daily lives. You have to go to a lab or whatever. But like, it seems to be when he was tested in the labs, all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
There was they injected him with an endotoxin, which is like the flu or whatever, and he was able to basically what would happen if you got a flu was that that endotoxin or that cell would then spread and kind of damage the other cells around it. But what happened in this case when they marked him was that his blood cells targeted the endotoxin straight away and just like nipped it in the bud basically. And but they also done it in a petri dish, so they got his blood, they got the endotoxin, put it in a petri dish, and they actually observed that happen, which is very interesting. The fact that like he had control over that.
Did you did junior cert science?
Yes.
Did you do leaving cert science?
Leaving cert biology.
Biology. What was leaving cert biology like, or what did you think of science and stuff?
I can't remember much of it. I liked biology because I liked my teacher, Miss Fairweather. Shout out, some supporter of the podcast. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the ecology. We went down to the Sloblands. Did you do that? No.
No, see, I didn't do a leaving cert science.
Did you do junior cert science?
I did. That was compulsory.
Yeah.
But there was something about science when I was in secondary school that I just didn't quite grasp. I felt like everything. Like, look, I know you have to follow a curriculum, but it didn't make sense to me that you would conduct experiments when, like, it didn't seem very scientific. Science didn't seem scientific to me, in that, like, it seemed very controlled and very, like, no, it is what it is and that's it, like, don't interfere.
Yeah.
And that didn't really appeal to me. But now, and yes, like, when you outline, like, what Wim Hof has done with that thing, like, that can't be explained really, like, fully. Like, that isn't something that you would see in a science book as such, because people dismiss it as spurious.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, yeah. I'm not saying, I don't know, that was my experience of, actually, speaking of my experience now, another weird thing with under sixes, there's this lad, and we'd have these small sided games, 2v2, and there's this lad, and he can't handle the game situation. He can't handle the game, and he stands out to the side and he just withdraws. And I haven't said it to his mother yet, but when I was his age, he's basically sensitive to stimuli in whether it's the noise or the conflict or trying to figure it out, and I can actually identify with, like, I remember going to a birthday party or whatever, and just noise or conflict or disagreement would be very unsettling for me.
Yeah.
And I was really interested then to see that in other, because I only really understood that retrospectively when I was in my 20s, like, and I could understand that I'm just quite a sensitive person, and there's some books out on it and whatever. But, like, it's very interesting to see a child like that, because the mother, like, it's very unusual. You just think, why can't the child just go out and play like everyone else?
Yeah.
But inside, they're going through a hell of a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I was had something similar when I was younger, like, you know, there'd be summer camps and all on that kind of age group. I would never go to the summer camps. Like, I would have signed up for it, or like maybe a couple before they realised I wouldn't go. And I'd go and I'd be, like, get very, like, anxious, very nervous, very quiet. I wouldn't want to go. I'd cry. I'd say, please don't let me go. I can't do it. And I'd have to not go. I was very, like, socially anxious at that age. So I can definitely see that, and it's something I think that it is, as you were saying, there's a sort of a lack of, not empathy, but a lack of understanding, because you're now this 26, 27-year-old. You can't put yourself in that 5-year-old's shoes, because you can't really remember what it's like to feel like that. And we just discount it as, like, God, why isn't he doesn't want to take part or whatever. Whereas, like, that child is processing a lot of emotions. Like, they're fucking everything is new to them. You know, they don't understand what the fuck is going on, or, like, if this is good or bad, or am I going to die here? Like, you know, they don't comprehend that. Yeah.
Don't know how I was related to Wim Hof and the testing, but yeah, it got me there anyway.
No. How was the experience of the traffic lights?
Traffic lights. I think they should get rid of them again, Mark.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking pain in the hole. Waiting at the traffic lights. I missed 2 green lights the other day because it was all backed up there. Yeah.
I think the traffic. Now maybe other towns are feeling it, but like Gory's traffic is mad.
Yeah.
Are we using cars too much? Well, you can't use a scooter to get from Ramsgate Village to Cookcastle.
No way. I have some pride. Shout out to my neighbour. He is not going to listen to this.
Yeah. Now the reason I say that is because there's someone contacted me lately about that we're underutilising our cycling and walking infrastructure in Gory. So
Okay, so I want you to fix it.
no, we're going to fix it together. So we formed a community development group, and they're going to come on board.
Groups and
Groups.
That's how we solve the problems. Groups and meetings. Let's create a task plan or task force on the walking side.
You walk
We go and we
They can
keep
be-
people. Can we slash the tires in the cars around the estates? Did you see what happened at the Grand National yesterday?
Petty protesters, yeah.
And you see all the memes of like the in-betweeners. Have you seen in-betweeners movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all wear the pink shirts.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I never thought of that actually. Yeah. You didn't join them in it.
I wasn't there. I missed the memo, honestly. They were going to, they were going to tie themselves to the second hurdle or something.
Oh
like
right,
that, apparently.
okay.
No, they didn't get in.
And ideas, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But horse racing has been around for a very long time. Chariots and all that.
Oh, we're going back to wow, right? I suppose.
They're going
yeah.
back to the invention of agriculture,
Right.
and they want us to stop it. They're going to undo many thousands of years of industrial agriculture by putting animals to work, by tying themselves to the second hurdle at Aintree Grand National.
Yeah. See, I have this. Yeah, I get you, but I have this little thing about this now where that PETA protester, there's traits of that PETA protester in myself.
Is there?
In you, in everyone.
Yeah.
People have been acting and behaving in a certain way for hundreds of years. But like sometimes when we have this, like obviously this protest or whatever, it's not going to be lasting, or it might not be lasting or whatever. But like it's still reflecting the human psyche or the human condition that we think things should be better because of X, but someone else knows that because of Y, it's very unlikely that X is going to matter.
Yeah. And do you not think then there's going to be some lad sitting at home watching these protesters and be like, fuck them, and go out and kick his dog?
Yeah.
Bastard, fuck animals.
I don't know what letter you put on that, but yeah. That's interesting. But Grand National is like an extraordinary event, isn't it? Like,
I don't get horse racing at all. I know your father was into it.
big time.
Yeah.
And what I know, I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but he coaches hurling teams the same way as he coaches horses.
Really?
And it only clicked on me in the last year or so. But like when he talks about a horse, he has, everything is about the horse. It's about the animal, the greatness of it, the beauty of it, the majesty of it. And then when he's talking about the player, he's the beauty, the majesty of it.
Yeah.
So it's the same lens that he has. That even though it's an animal involved, very interesting for me to observe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's a great way of training.
Oh, managers. Shall we?
It's time.
Let's get our perspective of
I'll tell you,
local.
the last 20 minutes have shown that Paper Tuesdays was just resting.
Yeah. We'll get our local management guru on the phone now, who has no idea that the podcast is back.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, James.
How are you?
We're coming to you live from the studio. He hung up.
I have to get a suit on and go to his office to prepared.
Yeah, very unusual.
Very
Wasn't
unusual.
expecting that from James.
I wonder what he's doing. He'll probably come back now. He'll go outside or something.
Is that what he do?
Yeah.
He's very organised, very quick thinking. Like.
Maybe he won't, like.
Maybe he won't.
He just won't.
He heard the studio and that was it. But he wouldn't know. I don't think he'd know. I don't know. Maybe Lily's throwing a tantrum and they have to... Congratulations to Ellen and David on the birth of their beautiful daughter, Lily.
Yeah. James, Uncle Jim.
Uncle Jimmy. Yeah.
Uncle Jim.
And Grandad Pad. And
Grandad Paddy, Deirdre. Granny Deirdre.
Yeah.
Grandmother Deirdre.
while we're waiting for James to compose himself, Telegram, last night while you were sleeping, Mark, I created a Telegram channel.
Right.
So the purpose of this is, from day one, Paper Tuesdays wanted to create a community.
Yeah.
We had 2 live events because we wanted to create a community. And now I believe that we can create a digital community where our long-term listeners, you, the people, can have the daily crack with us and inform what we have the crack. So basically, Mark can share a meme, I can share a thought, and then we can discuss it in this chat called a Telegram channel. And my phone is somewhere now. I'm just going to get it. Oh, never mind for a moment.
Hello, James.
Sorry, my phone's like the bollocks there. I don't know what's going on.
I thought you didn't want to be on the show.
I didn't know. I'm just sure it's always a pleasure to be asked to share thoughts and opinions.
Any insights from the past week?
From the past week, but sure, Jim, we played Ballyhole last night for 2 points. So that was
A good show.
Good win. Well, I wouldn't say a good show, but a good win. We'll take the win.
You take the win. And how did your who played well?
Sure, Jim, it wouldn't be fair to name names, really, would it?
It wouldn't. What are your projections now for this year, going into the championship?
Oh, I mean, sure, we'll give it a good fucking rattle, you know. We just need to grab it by the scruff of the neck now and just ride it into submission.
I've never heard a football manager say those words, James. And tell me this now, James. How does it feel to have a 100% track record with Dave Ada so far this year?
I don't have 100% track.
Oh, do you? Oh, I forgot that. But you felt that was as good as a win, didn't you? The performance in the second half. Oh, it wasn't.
Wasn't good as a win of the lock.
A loss, yeah.
How is the mood in the training camp?
Well, they're training away here now, football or hurling wise, and they're happy as Larry.
Very good. Yeah.
So good out of camp, lads. Good out of camp. But sure, look, there's big football on today between Ulster Championship and all that kind of stuff, you know. So that's why I'd be planting me home for me in front of that, watching an intriguing tactical battle between Monaghan and Tyrone.
Wonderful. Who do you think is going to win, James?
As long as Tyrone don't win, I'm happy. I don't like them lads.
Right, that's fair enough. Remember when they staged Tipperary in some under-21 football championship final a few years ago, and they had the girlfriends' names and phone numbers on their arms?
Oh, sure, that'd be the Tyrone boys. Yeah, they went on for the dirty tricks.
The dirty tricks. And tell me this out.
I wouldn't be a fan of dirty tricks now.
No.
Play football, like.
You play clean, don't you? And
to a point.
I said to somebody yesterday, James, that you have grown your teeth of management now, and you're very adept at the cutting word that needs to be said in that. Do you find that you have? Do you think you always had that skill within you, or do you think you're sharpening your tools, so to speak, or tools?
Oh, sure. Look, you can always sharpen your tools, but I was always fond of an old cut commentator there.
Yeah.
What's the timekeeping like in training?
Sure, timekeeping is good. Yeah, lads are all tight, so that's lovely. They're up to 6:30 on time at that. That's generally very good. That's very important.
It's an important rule for yourself.
It's discipline, Mark.
Discipline.
You will do fuck all without discipline.
There you go.
No better note to leave it on. Shagger Flood.
Any words for the comeback of the podcast?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Any words on the comeback of the podcast?
Anything for the listener?
Sure, I think I don't know if I'll be able to come back for school or not. I couldn't have chaps pulling this out in front of me like you said this, like, yeah, but you know yourself. We'd have to wait and see, you know.
Oh, wait and see. All right. Well,
I'll talk to Kevin O'Doherty about it.
have a word with him. See what he says. Righty, old Shagger. Good luck. Kevin O'Doherty's legal advice on the way. Very good. Very good. So I'm sending you a telegram. If you go on, we'll share the QR code online, but it's t.me/Paper Tuesdays. And I'm certain that we're going to have great fun in that chat.
Yes. We're going to make the Instagram active again, I think.
Yeah, sure, we may as well.
A few Q&As, stuff like that.
Yes, yeah.
See what people want.
Mark, it's great to be back.
It is great to be back.
And you know, it's important to recognise that we wouldn't have been able to come back today without Shane helping.
He's back.
He's a fantastic vocal. And we also couldn't have availed of the sauna last Friday without Shane's Ashdown membership. So we're forever indebted to Shane Halpin and to you for opening your ears to Paper Tuesdays.
Can we actually tell the listeners what happened in the sauna?
My nosebleed.
We George mentioned it many Mark.
Yeah, no, my nose has a lot of nosebleeds there a good bit of time, and it just erupted, and Mark suggested that I leave and wash myself, and so I left to wash myself. But I left a bloody trail for the women in their lovely Seafield robes that were about to come into the sauna. So yes, that was my experience. Anyway, I went out and tried to stop it, but it wasn't stopping, so I shortened my sauna session.
Yeah. So we were kind of, how far in were we? Maybe 15 minutes, 20 maybe. And I turned to Michael and I said, how long do you plan on staying in here? And I looked at him and I said, well, I think you better go now, because he was gushing blood from his nose. He'd blood all over his hands. So yeah, he went out and washed himself. And then a few women came in their robes, and they didn't sit on the blood. They did not.
But like whatever way they're sweating, all the heat in there, like it ended up by the time we even noticed, you had rubbed it like all over your head.
Oh my God!
Leaving the sauna, the way in the sauna faces the jacuzzi, anyone sat in the jacuzzi and sees a one Michael Wire with blood all over his face, I think someone made him a box.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That reminds me. I can't believe I had blood all over my face. But when I went home, then Ashton had finished painting, and we put up an Instagram of me wiping the sweat off my brow after the hard work. And my work colleague Stephanie goes, she sends me a message. Will you stop? He didn't paint that. He didn't brush that. He can't brush his hair. Never mind paint.
And shout out to Stephanie.
And she's so right. Like.
Yeah. Shout out to Stephanie. Just to see, I went back through your Instagram.
Oh yeah. She couldn't understand that.
That was the point. She was. I went in and it was Aislinn's birthday or something, and I wished her happy birthday, or I replied to Stephanie's comment.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months later.
Yeah.
She deserves it. Yeah.
How many days to the wedding?
Oh, less than 300 anyway. 293.
293.
Yeah.
Fuck, it comes by quick, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And I haven't done a whole lot of organising lately, so they never know, save the date and stuff, but I won't have an almighty shindig anyway. So.
We will. What's the final number, or do you want to announce it here?
It's probably going to be around 270 or so, yeah.
That's a big wedding.
It is, yeah, but it's the best day of my life.
Best day of your life is yet to come.
Yeah.
And then we ride off into the sunset.
I haven't told Ashton about the podcast on the day of the wedding, though.
Yeah, we'll have to record. Shane recorded the speech.
Imagine.
In the chapel.
I have the first line of your speech written.
Oh, wow. Okay.
First line.
Right.
So that's as far as I've got.
Wow.
So I know how I'm starting it.
Yeah.
And no more than that.
Have you... I don't know now who speaks or whatever, but like I want to speak, but I don't know... I think I have 2 speeches in my head, to be honest.
For yourself? To give.
As in, you know the way the night before the wedding, so you have a small intimate gathering with your bridal party and your parents and something, and I know what I want to say for that one, but I don't think I'll say, because I've decided it's so intimate, I don't think I should share the big one. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see.
You'll see. There'll be, I'll make a speech, you'll make a speech, Aisling can, I think, if she wants. Is she going to make one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Your father, does he?
Yeah. Well, Ashton's father, definitely. Anyway.
Yeah. Aislin's father, he's an orator, is he?
Oh no, he's not an orator. No, not at all. But tradition. The father of bride would always give a speech.
Yeah. Well, I think nearly every wedding I've been at, the father of the groom has as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be it. And then we shall dance.
We shall dance. Yes.
Evening away. So I can't believe now I'm going to have to fucking drink again. In 200.
6 months is ideal time though, because you're saying this now we're in April still. You have Christmas and you have February.
Your stag is in 7 months.
Oh yeah, you're not going to drink at my stag.
No, I'm not drinking.
Oh, 7 months. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Gosh, you're good at the maths. You taught this. Yeah.
So I might push it out to 7. We'll see.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Mark, it's been emotional. Thanks for bringing it back.
No, thank you for bringing it back. Thank you to Shane. Thank you to you for listening, all one of you, and get in contact for the Telegram.
Yeah, you contact for Telegram, and we'll share recipes of apple tarts.
Yeah.
Because we are the ICA.
We are
podcast.
the
We're the only.
That has been the labia.